Hello and welcome to Beer Club. I'm Luke, this is Beer Jerk, and this week I'm very happy to be drinking a beer from Goat Island Brewing. It's a Little Ripper, which is an XPA. You may not have had a beer from Goat Island before because they're relatively new. The lads have been brewing for a long time, but they, cheers. Just got their brewery online in the last year or two, and they've been doing some small batches, keg only releases, and these are the first beers they have canned, which is very exciting. So, yeah, Goat Island Brewing, a couple of brothers from Goat Island Road, Dan and Ruben, and of course when they were lining up their first ever beer in cans, Dan gave me a shout and said he would love to get them into the hands of you fantastic Beer Jerk members all over the country. Yeah, very, very cool to be getting these beers out and about and sampled the complete length of the country because it is good beer. It's an XPA, which is a beer you don't see loads of in New Zealand. It's a super popular beer in Australia. But back to goats for a moment. You may well have been to Goat Island. It's up in Lee, north of Auckland, and it's a marine reserve, and it's been a reserve since the 70s, I think. And for that reason, it's just a really fantastic place to go snorkeling, to go diving. The fish are really tame up there, so definitely make it part of your summertime travels. If you've got some plans to be around, yeah, beautiful north of Auckland and Northland in general. There's a lot of great beer as well, so obviously Goat Island, there's going to be more of their beers around the place. But you've got, Sawmill, you've got Matakana and Eight Wired and McLeod's, and then further north, you've got places like the Plough and Feather with Kainui. There's just so much great beer all over our country. But yeah, a lot of good stuff up north and beautiful places. Goat Island is one of many Goat Islands around the world. I've read this somewhere a long time ago, so it may be bullshit or maybe not, but apparently in the olden days, sailors would introduce a handful of goats to an island as a kind of food larder in case of emergency, or if people get shipwrecked, or if there are shortages. You just release a few goats, and if you get stuck 10 years later, then you've got a lot of goats. And of course, it being an island, that's a natural fence around the place. So apparently that is the origin of New Zealand's Goat Island. Sailors releasing some goats as a bit of a larder in case they get short of food. So I don't know how true that is. As always, I probably should look these things up before I do the drink along. But anyway, let me know if you know any different in the comments. So this beer is an XPA Extra Pale Ale. It's a pretty new beer style. I think it's just been around for about maybe 15 years. And it's a style that's out of Australia. There's been lots of debate and discussion on what the X in extra means. Is it extra pale? Was it light in colour? Is it extra hoppy? Is it extra alcohol? Well, I suppose yes to 1 and 2 and no to 3 would be the answer. The style is, I suppose, broadly defined by what it isn't in many ways. So an English style pale ale is more malty. An American style pale ale would be quite full on hoppy. An Aussie pale ale is all about drinkability. It's not that hoppy at all, really. The American pale ales are generally higher ABV. So this was, a development from a beer-loving but very hot nation of Australia to make beers that are hop forward, do have a flavour to them and a good bite, but are also a bit more sessionable. Are in that sort of 4% or thereabout ABV, and are sort of light in body and light in maltiness. It's a beer you can definitely chuck a few back of XPAs. I think it's probably 10 years ago that Balter did an XPA, and that just skyrocketed and became a huge successful beer for them. And great branding, great can design. So that was a brewery that really exploded, and XPA was absolutely their flagship and just sold huge amounts. And that led to things taking off. So they didn't invent the XPA or anything, but I suppose they supercharged the style and its acceptance amongst mainstream drinkers. So in Australia, XPA is a very, very big style. It definitely would not be more popular than lager, for example, but it's right up there. And as I say, you don't see as many here in New Zealand. We are a different country and have a bit of a different culture and environment, and so we're definitely more into pale ales here and IPAs. But yeah, XPA all about drinkability and also New World hops, I should say. That is generally a key part of the XPA philosophy. So there's these great Australian hops, things like Ella, like Galaxy, and also New Zealand hops. So this is crisp, it's moreish, keep coming back for more. It's definitely hop forward, and you can taste it's New Zealand hops in here. Definitely this sort of New World character of getting some. Yeah, it is. That kind of guava, white grape sort of unusual character compared to the traditional European hops and American hops. Yeah, really cool style, and it is definitely making me think about summertime, or at least spring even. It's been awesome. The skies have been blue the last couple of days, but it's been fucking cold. So yeah, this being proclaimed as a lawnmower beer. Laughing at the artwork, which is just fantastic, crazy. Yeah, it absolutely would be a really, really good lawnmower beer, but it is anything but average. It's a really solid beer that slaps, and I should also say that often when breweries get their canning line or setting up canning for the first time, there can be a lot of faults with that. It's just really difficult to package beer. There are whole qualifications built around that. It is not as simple as just pressing go on a canning line. There's a lot of work and analysis and testing and trial that goes into it. So unfortunately, it has been quite a fairly regular thing that when a brewery starts canning a bit, especially really small breweries, it's go on. It's a couple of brothers. They are learning, and I've had a lot of beers from breweries that have been faulted. So there's been basically it's dissolved oxygen in the beer, so oxygen is introduced at the canning level, and that's why you end up with those like brown sort of beers that should not be brown, or beers that are cloudy, or beers that taste like cardboard, or all that sort of stuff. This has none of that. This is really a fantastic example of a very, very well packaged beer. So congratulations, lads, you have nailed it. And yeah, for you drinkers, you're going to try a beer that is also super fresh. This is almost straight off the canning line, super fresh in premium condition. I've just been visiting Europe and Britain, and I did get to drink a handful of old aged beers. It is quite a New Zealand thing where there's the insistence that beer is stored refrigerated, and of course IPAs, hop forward beers, do need to be kept refrigerated. I suppose in places like Britain, where there's been this long history of beer retail for many, many years in real ale, and many beers don't need to be kept refrigerated. If you've got porters, real ales, all these Belgian styles, like yeast forward styles, you don't need to keep them in the fridge. It's completely fine to be at ambient temperature. But for these sort of beers, hop forward beers, they just age so quickly when they're not kept in the fridge. So that's such a key thing. And here at Beer Jerk, obviously the whole back end of our warehouse is a huge chiller. So yeah, really brilliant to be back in New Zealand, drinking some really brilliant hop forward beers that are well packaged, well looked after, refrigerated. Anyway, now I'm waffling. Great work to the Rantry boys. Looking forward to trying a lot more Goat Island beers in future, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.